Why escaping from prison is not a crime in Germany. Germany, Austria, Belgium, and Mexico don't criminalize prison escapes, but escaping without breaking the law is still tricky. After all, theft, property damage, and bribery are still crimes. Only one man has managed a non-criminal escape. Prisons have been around since the beginning of time. They were created in ancient Mesopotamia in 3200 BC. But for most of history, jails weren't used as a punishment. They served as areas where people awaited trial or execution. In the 19th century, England introduced prison sentences as punishment. Prison conditions across the world are very different. Brazilian prisons let inmates reduce their sentences. For every book read, inmates are entitled to a 4-day trim. However, they can only read up to 12 books a year. Rich Chinese criminals hire body doubles to go to prison for them. Still, escape attempts are usually punishable. In the US, it can result in 10 additional years behind bars. But in Germany, escaping from prison is 100% legal. In the 1800s, the Reichstag decreed that all people have the right to seek self-liberation. Therefore, they shouldn't be punished for escaping prison. This law is still in effect today, and not just in Germany. Austria, Belgium, and Mexico all allow escapes. As a Mexican Supreme Court judge put it,
"The basic desire for freedom is implicit inside every man."
However, there are a few caveats. Escaping doesn't make a prison sentence go away. If the escapee is apprehended, they'll still be sent back to prison. And while escaping isn't against the law, it's against prison rules. It won't result in extra time, but it's likely to ruin any chances of parole. Other crimes committed in the process will be taken into account. If the prisoners bribe a guard, that's still bribery. If they steal a getaway car, that's still theft. And breaking the cell bars is still considered destruction of property. But a successful escape is very much possible. Joel Kaplan was a prominent New York businessman from a well-off family. In 1971, he escaped from a Mexican prison without breaking any laws. Kaplan planned his escape thoroughly. He did it while the guards were watching a movie. He even bought a helicopter. Kaplan was careful not to rent it. Thus, he couldn't be accused of misusing rented property. He boarded his private single-engine Cessna jet. Kaplan then flew it to California. Even his flight followed FAA standards. After landing, he officially presented himself. That way, he couldn't be charged with entering the U.S. illegally. Kaplan was granted entry, and no one in Mexico even knew he was missing. He lay low for a while. The FBI and Mexican authorities never showed any interest in finding him. Things are a bit different in modern-day Germany. The country utilizes an elaborate safety system, so escape statistics are quite low. Besides, some German prisons are pretty decent. The prison where Hitler once wrote Mein Kampf now offers free education courses. Landsberg inmates can become bakers, electricians, and painters. Would you try to break out of prison if it was legal in your country?